A lot of what's happening to us as we get older gets blamed on menopause. And that has its own trials as well, but it accentuates how we're feeling. Our emotions go all out of control. We might be feeling uncomfortable. And even if you are on treatment, with your GP, etc., still there's stuff going on and it just feels out of control. Also, at this time of life, we often become our parents' caregivers. We might be working full-time jobs. We have perhaps young children still that are being cared for in the house. But then I hear women saying, I've lost my resilience. I don't feel as resilient as I used to feel. I used to be able to bounce back quicker. If there was an issue, I used to be able to just take it in my stride. And so there's a questioning of self. How did I get to be here? How did I get to be this person that just finds every day overwhelming and difficult? And perhaps needing to step back and have a really good look at what's going on. Yes, menopause might be part of it, but it could also be emotional stuff that's actually been carried over that's not really been dealt with in your earlier years. And now as you get into this age now where menopause is a part of it, and growing older and questioning, your purpose in life, even though you're running like a chook with no head on, trying to cope with young people going to school, dealing with an elderly parent or parents that are unable to look after themselves on their own anymore, where you might have to take them for medical appointments or optical appointments, any sorts of appointments that they can't take themselves to anymore, as well as you could be working full-time and you're trying to keep your relationships going at home, trying to keep it on an even keel. But then once again, young people need to be driven to appointments or to sports or to after-school events or even just getting to school. So all of that takes a toll. And somewhere along the line, we need to step back as women and have a really good look at what it is that we need to help us to get through this and stay sane. But what I'm saying is that we can't always say, oh, it's the menopause. Yes, that will have a lot of effect on you if you're having a particularly bad time. But if on top of going to your GP and getting whatever you need for it, whatever it is that you find that you need to help you through this, if you perhaps take a look at the emotional side of it as well and understand that sometimes we bring stuff from our younger years that we haven't dealt with, and we probably just put it on the back burner. It could be stuff from childhood, it could be anything. It just emotionally we just carry on because that's what we do, soldier on, just deal with it. But as you get older and your resilience may be less, that can start to show up. It can start to put a few cracks in the wall. And perhaps this is a really good time to look at some sort of emotional support. Have a look at what's underneath this feeling that, oh, I'm not as resilient as I used to be, or I'm finding things, my day-to-day stuff is just getting on top of me. And if you have a really good look at it, there's every reason for you to be feeling that way because you've got so much going on. If you do find that you're looking after a parent and you've got young people at home and working full-time, it's a lot to ask. So somewhere along the line, if we don't take care of ourselves emotionally and physically, we need to get exercise and all that too, but underneath all that, if we're just blaming it on menopause or just blaming it on age or, oh, this is normal for this age, then we're not giving ourselves the chance to get through this, to find that we have some choice. A lot of that stuff can be about choice. We feel that this has all been, especially if you haven't got helpful siblings and you're the one that ends up as the main caregiver of an elderly parent, that can create a situation where you're feeling pressure from all sides and your own health can take a dive if you don't do something about it. So looking for someone that can give you a sympathetic ear or somebody that can help you talk through, like a therapist, talk it through where you come to your own conclusions and realize that you do have choice. Maybe not physically, maybe not in the situation you're in, but in the way that you approach it, in the way that you deal with it. So that you actually feel that, oh, okay, if I perhaps go at it this way, it might work out better for me. Just, yeah, I think a lot of the time people realize or don't realize that they have a choice. I think it's when they feel that they have no choice, that they're banged up against the wall, or they're in a corner. And often when we're in a corner, we come out barking, we come out biting, we come out in a way that we really don't like the way we're behaving. So finding a way to deal with the emotions, to figure out what it is about your resilience that you're finding that you're lacking, finding out what it is that's pushing your buttons, and looking at a way to figure out what your choices are can make a big difference to how you approach your day-to-day life.